13 years ago, a group of teenage YouTubers formed an internet collective called the Sidemen. What started out as friends playing GTA together quickly turned into an international fandom of millions of kids around the globe. Throughout the years, their fanbase has grown up alongside them, watching them traverse through the multiverse of content that spans the lengths of the YouTube continuum. They created the foundation and inspired countless creators and quickly went from a DIY YouTube business to a media corporation with an army of professionals helping guide it across a wide collection of business ventures. However, at the centre of this group was KSI, who, without a doubt, is the biggest creator in the UK, but has been involved in numerous dramas over the years, with his ego getting out of control, and in recent weeks has expressed his desire to become bigger than the Sidemen, which has ultimately led him to leave the group without any warning.
I have decided that I will no longer be doing Sidemen videos.
By making this video, he broke a long-standing mutual agreement behind the scenes, with it essentially being a threat to bring the whole empire crashing down. Naturally, this sent shockwaves across the internet and reverberated across the Sidemen fandom. So, with there now a gaping hole in the Sidemen and their fanbase actively turning on KSI, what will be the fallout, and has KSI's pursuit of global dominance already backfired? But first, if you didn't know, we make weekly documentary videos here on this channel, and it would be awesome if you could drop a like and a sub to the channel so we can keep on pumping out these videos. And if you can't get enough, make sure to go follow me over on Spotify so you can watch and listen to my videos on the go. So with all that out of the way, let's get back into the video. Now, the reason the Sidemen became as big as they have in the first place is they have developed a democratic system that was designed to manage the growing wealth, fame and influence to ensure that no single ego could ruin the group. They operate with no single boss and every single member has equal responsibility. This even comes down to shoes, where every Sidemen Sunday video is directed by one of the members each week, which is tracked and monitored on a shared spreadsheet, leading to a fair rotation of the responsibility. Now, this is all apparently enforced by a red and yellow card system. For example, arriving 30 minutes late to a shoot earns a yellow card, accumulating 2 results in a red card, which wipes one directed video from that member's tally, which subsequently means that members must then direct additional videos to catch up with the rest of the group.
What do you mean by red card? So basically, guys, the way it works with Sidemen, we've explained it a million times. We all take videos each, so like the holiday video, Josh took. He organized it, hence why he was host as well. Sometimes the host is also involved. The latest hotel video I hosted, but I'm also in it. We have like a list of how many videos everyone's done. So like JJ's actually done the most videos, but when you're late by half an hour to a shoot or 15 minutes to an online shoot, you get a yellow card. If you get 2 yellow cards, you get a red card, and when you get a red card, you lose the video. So Josh could do 20 videos and I do 10, but if he gets 15 red cards, he's technically only done 5 videos. Even though he's done a lot more work, he's then lost 15 of them. And then we always try to keep it level.
Now, this level of professionalism is exactly why the Sidemen have lasted as long as they have. And it's this evolution of a bunch of nerds who handled their own editing, sound, marketing, and everything else involved in building a media enterprise to now having a huge team running one of the biggest IPs in the YouTube space. So with all of the behind the scenes being run with professional guidance, the Sidemen's roles shifted from plain old video creators to the talent, distributors, managers, and the leaders of multiple highly successful business ventures. But with this level of commitment to the content that built the monolith that the Sidemen IP has become, produces a filming schedule that would terrify even the most elite productivity guru.
What's in the JJ playlist? Filming. Are you even? You're not even filming, bro. Bro just puts filming in. Bro, you're filming. Wait, you're filming for the rest of the year. Your next white day of nothing is the 15th of September.
Wait, is it?
So, with a schedule like this, ramping up production on his own channel, and recently acquiring a 20% stake in the football club Dagenham and Redbridge, it's clear in hindsight that the pressure that was building in his business life made him prepare to sever ties with a group that he helped bring together more than a decade ago. On the 3rd of May, JJ appeared on Alhan FM, where he explained that he told the Sidemen that he was going to overtake them in views and subs.
I told the boys that I'm going to overtake them in views and subs eventually.
Fuck, you know.
And
how many? I mean, who does the?
I have overtaken them in views last month.
They're quite competitive, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm very competitive. So
but when you say the boys, I mean, who are the big content
Sidemen.
Yeah, I know, but Harry doesn't really make it.
No, as the group.
Oh, you're outperforming the Sidemen channel.
I'm outperforming the Sidemen channel, yeah. Oh, no, we don't need to club it.
And turn the Sidemen into the Sidemen.
What?
For real. Fuck, you know. But you are the Sidemen.
No, but a lot of people said I wouldn't be able to do it because they were like, "Oh, YouTube is hard and it's different these days."
Yeah.
And yeah, for you to do it by yourself, it's gonna be crazy because obviously Sidemen is a massive thing that's been going on for ages. And I said, "All right, watch," and now I did it.
Done it.
Yeah.
Now, right here is exactly where people began to believe that his ego was beginning to merge its head again. You see, in recent months, JJ has ramped up production on his channel with MrBeast coded long-form content and brain rot shorts. For JJ though, it doesn't really matter, because on the 17th of May, KSI reported that he had his highest viewed day in his YouTube career with over 18 million views. Mo Syed, who's KSI's head of content, stated, "I know I keep saying this, but this really is just the beginning. This time next year, these daily views will feel normal. The team's expanding, everyone's locked in, we've got a strong strategy team building with us, and now we actually have proper filming days scheduled for bigger and better content. Everything's starting to line up exactly how it should." So, with it clear that Team KSI was on a crusade to ascend to the levels of MrBeast, or potentially even compete, fans were noticing that something was changing. On the 31st of May 2026, KSI uploaded a video titled "I'm leaving the Sidemen," which obviously went into detail explaining why he was leaving the Sidemen.
This is honestly the hardest video I've ever had to make in my life. I've gone back and forth on this decision for a very long time. I've spent months trying to figure out what the right thing to do is. After a lot of thought, I have decided that I will no longer be doing Sidemen videos.
What hanging around with Logan Paul and MrBeast does to a person in real time. My ego is too big to do videos with my childhood friends, so I'm going to make MrBeast slop style shorts ass video, leaving your lifelong friends to create shitty AI slop. So with KSI's version of the "We are aging men" meme, JJ had officially left the Sidemen. Immediately after this video, Mini Minter posted a story which showed that he had no idea KSI's announcement was coming.
I mean, you may have seen the news that has just been dropped. I didn't know that video was going out now, so I'm expecting a lot of people to just ask me about that.
This announcement also came on the same day that both Ethan and Toby were playing in Soccer, which, if you're not from the UK, is quite a big deal as it's televised on terrestrial TV. However, many people like myself believed at the time that it was a hoax, like we'd seen in the past with previous Sidemen beef. But a few days later, JJ posted to Instagram where he once again confirmed he was leaving and left a note directly to the other lads, which in some way came off a bit condescending. Now, let me speak directly to the boys. I know you're all grieving in your own way because of my decision, but you knew it was coming for a while. And I know some of you are angry, some of you don't want to accept it, some of you might even hate me, and some of you are just upset. It's okay, I'll always be here for you. I've always been here for you. Don't see this as the end, see this as a new era or a new beginning. Be optimistic, think positively. You have an audience that adores you, an audience that enjoys your content, an audience that has grown with us. You're all very entertaining, so don't think otherwise. You've done this without me before and it was great, but in the end, you know how I am, so you know that I have to do this for my sanity. It's still so mad that all of this started from those Skype calls. Trains for the win. I love you guys. On the 5th of June, a few days after that Instagram post, the Sidemen then released their official statement addressing the situation. We want to start this by saying that we, as the Sidemen, wish JJ the best and respect his decision to leave. We will be forever grateful for the amazing moments and memories we've shared together. Unfortunately, his exit did not happen in the way any of us wanted it to. That has understandably left lots of you confused, and we feel like we owe you some clarity. It's difficult for us to address the situation and has taken some time, because we're a group and not an individual. We don't have a spokesperson as such, and each of our own opinions and feelings differ, which is why we're using this shared statement. Ideally, we would have loved the opportunity to give JJ the send-off he deserved. A proper farewell video, time for everyone to process it, and a chance to celebrate everything we've built together. Unfortunately, JJ had released the news before we had agreed on a mutual way of letting our audience know. This is the end of an era, but not the end of the Sidemen. The rest of us will continue to bring you Sidemen content, with the same commitment and optimism we've always had. We look forward to continuing the journey with you all, and thank you for always supporting us through everything. This confirmation of the news obviously rocked the social media landscape. With it so significant, it made the actual news. But with it being such a whirlwind and coming out of nowhere, within the Sidemen fanbase, it continued to create wide speculation. Not only did he post his video alone, breaking the mutual agreement, he also posted the video hours before two of his best friends had one of the biggest moments playing in Soccer Aid. Why on earth would he just straight up announce his departure before agreeing on anything with the rest of the boys? He definitely has some more explaining to do, because that's just not cool. Just a guess based on how JJ usually is, maybe he thought that leaving in that manner and surprising everyone, including the Sidemen, would create more backlash, more drama, and hence creating more traction to his channel and content. Now, straight after the statement from the Sidemen, people started reposting clips from the Sidemen diss track era that seemed relevant given the new added context, but also perpetuated the belief that there was beef behind the pleasantries of the unexpected exit.
Laughing stock, bro, not even being funny. They only gas you up because you're making a money. Deleting your old videos, are you dumb? Stop being so ashamed of where you came from. The old KSI was what made us all fans. This of old KSI is a fucking waste, man.
Now, on the same day as their statement, the Sidemen also posted their weekly podcast where Ethan, Vic, Tobi, and Simon briefly addressed the situation.
We're gonna continue our lives as normal, as you all should. Bye-bye.
Around this time, people also began posting clips from podcasts that seemed to show JJ's ego continuing to rise, with him alluding that he's the star of the group, which seemed to confirm that JJ had been compromised and has overinflated views of grandeur.
I'm trying to compete with Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
He gets about 4 billion every month in shorts and about 600 million long form. I mentioned the Sidemen boys, I'm gonna get more subscribers than Sidemen, and I'm also gonna get more views. I've got more views than Sidemen in a month, so now I just need to get more subscribers. And then it's like, all right, cool. I'm looking at speed now.
Now, while both KSI and his channel manager were flexing their view counts for the shorts that they were producing, they received a lot of backlash, with many people blaming Mo for JJ's change in content and even had to address it after receiving racial abuse. I've spoken to Mo behind the scenes and it genuinely hurts seeing how people have been treating him. Whether you agree with my decision or not, please leave the people around me out of it. This was my decision and my decision alone. The abuse, racial comments, and threats towards Mo are completely undeserved. Please do better. Ironically, someone then posted a video of KSI underneath this tweet of him giving out the same exact energy.
I am disappointed in your team and the people around you, man. How and why they thought it would be a good idea for you to enter the ring looking like that is beyond me, man. It was embarrassing. Have they no shame, or are they there just to massage your ego while you're still paying them?
The tide was definitely shifting on KSI, and because of this, the narrative was also turning to the fact that the Sidemen probably actually helped save his reputation on multiple occasions, with Vicstar mentioning on a podcast a few years ago that KSI was interested in doing NFTs during the pump and dump era, but was convinced otherwise by other members. Not to mention, KSI had beef with the wholesome Minecraft YouTuber Dan TDM after he criticised Lunchly. However, on the 7th of June, Tobi directly addressed KSI leaving during a livestream, where he reiterated that he wished that they had the chance to have a proper send-off and why JJ leaving the group will actually have a positive impact on the group.
Obviously, it's been a difficult week for a lot of people. You lot have heard the news that JJ has left the Sidemen for reasons I would say personal to him, but he actually explained it all to you in the video. He's left for his own reasons that he's disclosed, and he's made a decision that is right for him. And all the boys, myself included, we've all come to terms with that decision and we respect it. Obviously, it was a bit of a shock to us when he initially told us, but that we've come to terms with it, we've accepted it, and like we get it. There comes a time in life where you have to make a decision that's right for you, or you end up living with regret. In fact, there's probably multiple times in life where you actually do just have to put yourself first. But like you said, like I said, myself, the boys, it took us a little bit to kind of process it, as it would, because this is something that we've been doing together for the last 13 years nearly. Yeah, we respect his decision and we're wishing him all the best, and we're ready to crack on with the rest of us and get things done. I've seen a lot of like negativity towards JJ and members of his team, and first of all, you know what I'm gonna say about sending abuse to people. I say this every time and people go, oh Tobi, you're too soft, rare. Fuck all that. Stop being dickheads, bro. Stop being dickheads. You don't have to abuse people to get your point across. You don't have to send people death threats or racial abuse to get your point across. Stop being a dickhead, bro. That's not how life works.
A few days later, on the 10th of June, Harry, aka Road to Shore, made a video reacting to his best moments with KSI. Hilariously, at the start of the video, Harry addressed KSI leaving, but didn't really give a shit because he had a brand deal. But he did share his thoughts.
How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the W2S second channel. But today I come with some devastating news. So some diabolical news. KSI's left the Sidemen. No. Yeah, you know what? I'll try and be serious for a little bit. So yeah, JJ's left. It's legit. I mean, it's probably, you can probably tell by now it actually is legit. It's been a while now, but yeah, it's kind of mad. Like I've been doing Sidemen stuff. Oh, not to make it about me, but I've been in the Sidemen for like 13, 14 years, which is like half my life. So it's a bit weird. It's kind of changed now. It's a bit, yeah, a bit mad. But as far as my thoughts on it, I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal. Not to make it sound like, oh, I don't care or you shouldn't care, but like, people want to do other stuff. I would never begrudge anyone for wanting to live their own life. I think, yeah, just, yeah, it is what it is.
Fella doesn't give a single shit. Only Harry would use KSI leaving the Sidemen for a sponsor video. Shout out to KSI leaving the Sidemen so Harry can get a sponsor for his video. A few days later, on the 12th of June, KSI's team went on the offensive to attempt to change the narrative and perception around JJ. The Daily Mirror produced an article that was apparently tipped off by a friend of his. The article portrayed KSI as if he was frozen out the Sidemen, which many saw as damage control from KSI's camp. Mainly because at the start of the article it says, friends of KSI claimed it fueled a wave of online abuse against him, but the same friends say he actually informed them of his plans in April, as they branded the group's handling of his departure at the time a total classless act. They said KSI made every effort to handle the situation privately and respectfully behind the scenes, while continuing to fulfill Sidemen commitments. The article then continues, explaining that KSI absolutely wanted a proper farewell and recognise how important that moment would have been for the fans after more than a decade together. He cared deeply about ending this chapter properly and positively. Despite tensions within the group, with some members angry and still struggling to accept KSI's decision, he continued to show up professionally and respectfully. The article then goes on to reference how the Paris influencer football match shortly before the breakup was one example how the tensions within the group weren't visible, yet was still bad enough for KSI to have ultimately stayed in a different hotel away from the rest of the lads. There were situations behind the scene far more uncomfortable than what people saw publicly, but KSI still turned up, fulfilled his commitments, and to this day has never once publicly criticised the group. It therefore remains unclear how the farewell video he deserved would realistically have been possible under those circumstances. But what makes this article a bit stinky from JJ's side is that he could have just said this outright in a video or something, without hiding through mainstream outlets to try and project a narrative against the Sidemen. The journalist who wrote this article also then made a video where he claims that the friend of KSI he spoke to also said that JJ was even reportedly upset that the Sidemen had put a loser balloon over his head during a Sidemen video after losing his fight to Tommy Fury.
I'm also told that KSI was genuinely hurt when the Sidemen put a loser sign above his head after his defeat to Tommy Fury in a video. The friends said they often overstepped the mark.
So, with it now clear that it may not all be rosy behind the scenes, people began clipping up clips of KSI from his drama with his brother Deji in 2019, with people saying that Deji warned everyone of JJ's ego. Also, if you're not aware, I have actually made a full breakdown of their relationship, which you should definitely check out after watching this video. But anyway, in one of these clips that resurfaced, JJ talked about losing subscribers, ego, and how it's important to make good content, which kind of seems like the advice KSI should be listening to now.
I've lost millions of subscribers in my time, and I'm losing subscribers right now, but you still don't see me complaining. In my whole YouTubing career, I have lost 7.6 million subscribers. So from all of this, it's clear that you do care about subscribers. Otherwise, you wouldn't bring it up. End of the day, it's your content that makes people interested in you. If we put up bad content, eventually people aren't gonna care about it anymore. Subscribers don't affect your livelihood, Dej. It affects your ego.
Bro is literally criticizing his future self. Deji called out this dude's ego years ago and y'all clowned him. To make it even worse, on the 14th of June, musician and meme entertainer Oliver Tree sadly died in a helicopter crash in Brazil. There were outpourings and people sharing their condolences and memories of Oliver across the internet. Having previously collaborated on multiple projects with Oliver, KSI posted a message, "Can't believe I'm actually having to type this. You're 32, man. You should still be here. You still had so much life to live, so much music to make, so much content to make. You're a legend and will always be a legend. Still doesn't feel real. Genuinely feel sick. I love you, bro." Now, while it is a touching message to his late friend, some people felt like it was a little insensitive to frame it like he was farming content. So much content to make. I get where you're coming from, but this shit has fried your brain, mate. You can't think about anything but content creation. A few days later, on the 16th of June, KSI seemed to take a jab at the Sidemen by posting a cryptic Instagram story that read, "One thing I hope is that the Sidemen finally do a video on Beta Squad's channel. I really think that video would be great for the YouTube scene." This story was followed by a video with Mr. Beast.
Hey, yo, Jimmy.
Oh, how's it going?
How many subscribers you on?
We just hit 500 million. How about you?
Half a billion.
Yeah, subs. But how many subs are you on?
18.4 million.
Oh, well, you'll get there. Just stick at it. How much is the bill? £83. Thank you.
I'm gonna get there.
He acts so cringe now. We're never getting peak KSI back. With every upload, KSI was getting memed on and critiqued for his ego and essentially producing MrBeastification slot videos where his videos were highly edited for retention and the thumbnails are made for kids drooling over their iPads. However, ironically, people began pointing out that his content was actually getting less views than that of the Sidemen side channels and even some of the other Sidemen. I mean, I don't really think it can be that big of a surprise that KSI decided to spread his wings away from the Sidemen. For the last couple of years, he's become more and more integrated into the mainstream, but you kind of have to ask why. He became a judge on Britain's Got Talent, a show that hasn't been relevant in 15 years, gets a fraction of the viewership of YouTube, and portrays him as even more cringe. But it does generate fame from a completely different audience and fluff up his ego. In some ways, JJ has become everything that he didn't want to be at one point in time.
To put it quite frankly, I was sick and tired of everything to do with YouTube. I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. I had to keep up with a persona that was just so taxing on me and my general well-being, to be honest. And I don't know, but in my opinion, YouTube has changed a lot. I don't believe it's about the you in YouTube anymore. Gone are the days where people would just make videos for fun. Now it's all about people making videos for monetary gain, increasing the length of their videos so that they can add several ads just to, again, increase their revenue. People now just clickbait videos and have videos that aren't even related to the title. YouTubers now have multi-million pound companies backing them up. YouTubers now have directors, editors, cameramen, and other things to help them out. Whereas before, it was only the YouTuber that would do that themselves. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of doing a lot of these things myself, and I'm definitely not trying to have a dig at other YouTubers because that essentially is the game right now. That is the YouTube game. That's how you remain relevant nowadays.
At this point, Zerka, Vic, or Mini Minter haven't spoken about the split in any real format, but I'm sure they will speak about it in due time. KSI's split from the Sidemen is ultimately a story of a man's ego, or perhaps desperate pursuit to find balance in his life after climbing the Mount Olympus of content creation. KSI and the Sidemen guys have been making videos since they were literal children, so what we're basically witnessing with KSI is the endgame of MrBeastification. When you've already conquered the UK internet space and laid the foundation for the next generation of groups, where else do you go? For JJ, the answer seems to be chasing global, industrialized dominance. He and his team have openly spoken about their desire to quite literally take over the world and monopolize the entertainment industry. But in chasing that hyper-optimized global appeal, he risks losing the very soul that made him a superstar in the first place. JJ is even rumored to be preparing for a massive return to music and a high-profile return to the boxing ring. Whether this truly is the permanent death of the old KSI, or just a prologue to an inevitable multi-million-pound Sidemen reunion in a few years, only time will tell. Well, if you've made it this far, I really do appreciate you watching. If you're new here, make sure to drop a like and a sub to the channel, follow me on Instagram @FatMema, and comment below what you want to see next. As always, I'll see you in the next one.